Howdy. Welcome to Sylvie's Runcast. It's been a minute. I just came from Granny, who is up the street from Van Ramba, and she has like a million dogs. And I'd like to give treats to her dogs. So a couple weeks ago, I was giving treats to all the dogs, and she likes to yell about like which ones haven't gotten one yet, or if there's one hiding in the bushes, to make sure that one gets one. So she's yelling at me in those cases, but then she also yells at her dogs. So the ones that are too shy to come get a treat, she's like, "Den, come out here and get a treat." And I love her. I think she's amazing. And I found out her name is Yai Liam. So Yai is Granny. She doesn't have to be your grandmother. You just call a woman of this age in a kind of informal way, Grandma. And then Liam is her name. So she was telling me that one of her dogs was injured, and so asked for a treat to go give her dog. And this dog had been kind of rolled over by a car, like not quite hit, but had been laying there in a car that was parking, had kind of rolled over it, so it couldn't walk. His name is Nam Dang. So I took it into Animal Army. Dr. Quan Chai was like, yeah, I can totally take her. He did a bunch of x-rays, blood tests, all this stuff. And her x-rays were good, like no broken bones or anything like that, lots of inflammation. And then her blood was terrible, like super anemic. This is very common in Thailand because ticks carry lots of blood parasites, and these make the dogs very anemic. And so the life expectancy of street dogs is pretty low in Thailand. I'd say 4 years is my educated guess in terms of like experiential guess, not like actually being a vet. But Dr. Quan Chai was like, I'll just keep her here for a month because it'll take that long for me to like get her blood levels up so that she can fight the inflammation from the injury, because as her blood is now, it's just really not going to get any better. So I let Yai Liam know, your dog's going to be at the vet for a month. She's like, okay, thank you. And then during Songkran, not many days after this, Dr. Quan Chai messaged me, and he's like, I'm so sorry, but Nam Dang didn't make it. She passed away over the night. And I just did not know that this was in the cards. Like, I didn't know that she was in that precarious of a state. He sent me her blood work, so I saw how low all of her levels were. Like, none of them were even remotely near a normal range, but I'm not a vet, so I don't know how awful all of that is. I've lost dogs already in Thailand from this. Snowflake, if you guys have been following me for a very long time, was a dog that lived across the street when we were at our old apartment, and I used to walk him when I would walk Jaidi because he was just chained up all the time. So I asked his owner, who is this guy who runs like a recycling area like across the street from our apartment, I was like, can I take your dog when I take my dog for a walk? And this was like the most insane request. He thought I was so strange, but not in a bad way, and he was like, absolutely. So I started kind of taking care of Snowflake in a giving him walks kind of way. And then when it would rain really hard and our street would just turn into a river, I would wake up and look over the balcony and see Snowflake just fucking in the water on his chain, and I would go get him and bring him up to our apartment, and he is not used to being inside, so it was like really uncomfortable for him. But it's this thing where like, these are not my dogs, but I have relationships with these dogs. And so 1 week, 2 week, who was kind of Jaidi's sister, also called Maya, she lived in the like parking area of our apartment building. She ultimately died from a kind of I think it's called TVT, which is a sexually transmitted cancer, basically, that dogs get here. And she died from that, but the reason she couldn't recover from that is, again, this blood parasite thing. So it's very, very common. So I was just with Yai Liam. I was giving her dogs that are still around some like frontline, like to help with ticks and fleas and stuff like this. And I need her help with this because she has so many dogs that like I can't tell which ones have already gotten it or not. So basically I would hold the treat and she would squirt the medicine on their neck because they trust her a lot better, but she's also like way better at it. She's very swift. And it was crazy trying to wrangle these, like, I think she told me there were 12. There must be like 15 dogs. There were so many of them. We got almost all of them. A couple are too shy. And so she kept the medicine and some treats, and she's like, I'll get them when they come for dinner. So hopefully she knows which dogs have not gotten their medicine yet. But it was, for me, a very valuable experience to work with Granny in doing that, because for some reason I see her as this like archetypal hero. There's this whole like maiden, mother, crone thing of the like 3 phases of the feminine life cycle or whatever. Like, it's archetypal, so this is not like a huge thing, but it's in fairy tales all the time. It's in Jungian philosophy analysis, this kind of thing. And the crone is just like, she speaks to me. I love her. I love Baba Yaga. I love like old women. The thing about Granny is I can't explain it. I'm just totally drawn to her. I think she's amazing. I want to be her friend so bad. This kind of thing. And so kind of working together like this fills me with some kind of like amazing energy. You can hear how excited I am. And I think that there's something to that. And maybe this is because I'm in analysis. I do Jungian analysis. In that, like, Muay Thai is very masculine. That's a lot of what drew me to it. I love the type of masculinity that's in it. I love the processes of Thai masculinity that are expressed through it and are kind of integrated into its pedagogy and its expression and its kind of values in society. Like, I talk about this stuff a lot. Kevin and I talk about it in Muay Thai Bones. I talk about it in my blogs on 8 Limbs Us. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look for that stuff, because I can't get all into it here. But I love that. I really love the masculinity of Muay Thai. And we've been in Thailand now for 12 years. We just had our anniversary on April 6th. So this year is 12 years. Or this year will be 13 years. Just made 12 years. And I do it a lot. Like, this is what I do all day, every day. And gyms are full of young boys and men. And it's very, very masculine. And I just don't have a lot of exposure, access, chances to kind of soak in, contemplate, express feminine energies, which I also definitely fucking have. And when I get to be around like a bunch of women, which is unusual, I was taking like a dancing class that was all women, and like it was a really good thing for me to be expressing that through myself and these movements, which are very, very different from Muay Thai and this kind of thing. Like, for me personally was really helpful. Unfortunately, I don't do it anymore. But another thing that was great about it was just being around other women. Like, it's only other women in the class, and I'm not friends with them. I'm not talking to them. We're not like sharing stories or anything. There's like almost no engagement between all of us, but we're just in the room doing the thing, which is the kind of experience I'm having, although more engaged in a gym in a masculine way, like where I'm training with all of these boys and young men and older men and all this stuff. So I'm thinking about that and why I'm so drawn to Granny. And I'm in kind of a weird flux of things are changing right now. My clinch partner at Rambaz left. He's not at the gym anymore. And when I think back on it, like, I've often had only one clinch partner at the gyms that I've been at, or like one at a time kind of thing. And sometimes I'll have like 3 options, but really there's one that's my main clinch partner, and then if he's sick or fighting or whatever the thing is, there's another one who can kind of substitute kind of thing. So it's not uncommon for me to have only had one clinching partner, but it's unwise to only have one clinching partner, because when something happens, you then have 0 clinching partners. And it's something that I've experienced maybe more than others because of my size. I am the size of a like 12 to 16 year old Thai boy. It actually turns out Naksu is much bigger than I thought he was. Like, when I first started working with him, he was probably 48 kilos, and then he went up to like 54 pretty fast, and I thought that's where he was hanging. He's been 58 kilos for a while, and I just like was not noticing. I was kind of like, are you taller at some point like 3 weeks ago? But he's actually just bigger all around. So like, my clinch partners outgrow me because of their age, but the more kind of like, I don't know, unnoticeable element of why I lose clinch partners many, many times throughout my time here in Thailand is being the age of 12 to 16-year-old boys. That's the age where you're going to lose a lot of your stable of fighters. I remember in Chiang Mai when Kevin and I first arrived, we were watching some kid. They were pretty small, but we were watching some kids that were probably like 8 to 14. Like there was a range there. And Kevin and I were like, oh, they're so good. They're so great. They're going to be amazing. And Den just kind of smiled and he's like, we'll see. Like, we'll see if they make it through motorbikes and girls and stuff. Just that like 12 to 16 age. And so basically just a lot of fighters quit at that point. They might start getting good and go to other gyms at that point. They might just get totally distracted in the motorbikes and girls kind of thing. And then they're just kind of useless because they're not training. And so they kind of like peter out. I've lost clinching partners because their parents got divorced, and so they ended up moving to another city. Like, it's a very volatile time in young men's lives that I'm the size of. So those are my clinching partners. And so I've actually experienced this pattern a lot in the 12 years that I've been here. It makes me sad because I actually really like Naksu. Like, as a clinch partner, he was really good for me, but like as a gym mate, I really liked him. He had a sweetness about him and a good energy, but he was also had like this kind of meanness that I think was really helpful to me in clinch, because it really turned up the heat a lot at times that like forced me to kind of work through it in a way that was very common when I was first learning how to clinch, because everything gets really emotional really fast because you don't know what you're doing and you're not used to it and it's scary and all of these things. But because I've been doing it for so long, I don't get those like heightened emotions that easily anymore, and I actually get a little bit annoyed when my partner does. And he's not emotional. Like, he wants to hurt you, which seems emotional, but he's actually just trying to scare you to the point of you kind of backing off or something, which you would totally do in a fight. So I appreciated that I had that energy process with Naksu, which you know, I don't always have at my experience level now. Been around for a while and I've fought a lot of fights. So yeah, I'm sad about that. I'm also sad for Ramba. Like, Naksu's been with Ramba for a really long time. Again, this happens. Like, there are times when fighters who have been at your gym for like 10 years or something just go. This happened to Grenu at Petrungrung with like Jadakam, PTT. Like, he had like a slew of fighters that just kind of he had raised, and then they just all left kind of all at once. It's a little bit of a danger of that, where like it's like Jenga or something, where like one leaves and then it's like, is this gonna be like a pile, or is it gonna be we're gonna pull the rest of them in tight and kind of control them a little bit harder to try to avoid that. It's volatile and I can't do anything about it. I'm just trying to, you know, make sure that I'm supportive where I can be, encouraging where I can be, and also, you know, making sure that I'm getting what I need or want from anything. This stick looks so much like a cobra. If I were riding a horse right now, it would be like leaping into the... This is the weird thing. When I was riding horses, like, they think everything is a snake. Like, stuff that I would never fucking think is a snake. They're like leaping all over the place. They're like, oh my god, a snake. Ropes and vines and stuff that I'm like, oh my god, that looks exactly like a snake. Never. They're just like, whatever. I don't know what it is with horses. Like, they see ghosts or something. They're crazy. It's like, I think I saw a meme or something that was like, I wish my 2,000-pound motorcycle could make bad decisions, and that's a horse kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what that is with how they perceive what seems like a snake and what doesn't, because things that I think look totally like a snake, they don't care at all whatsoever. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I maybe will try to find clinching with a kid who's slightly too small for me, but will be a good experience for a while. Like, we'll see how that goes. But when we filmed with Kaosai Galaxy for the Muay Thai Library, he said something interesting. In his session, he was talking about his sparring, and he's talking about as a boxer. He's like, I always had 4 partners. 3 of them were bigger than me, and 1 of them was smaller than me. And the smaller one was the most important one, because that's the one that you can work on your timing, your finesse, your kind of like more femur elements with the smaller one. And Karahat's been telling me this for years, and I always just laughed because I'm like, well, nobody's smaller than me. And who's smaller than Karahat? Like, Karahat was the smallest one in his gym all the time. So he was like sparring with kids, I guess. So I'm thinking to myself, this possible partner I might have at a different gym will be good in that it's that smaller thing, which I almost never have. The smallest one is the most important in the 4, but there's still 4 of them. So I feel like having only the smaller partner seems unideal. But, you know, try things. You never, ever, ever have a perfect situation. I've never had a perfect situation. I'm never 100% for fights. I'm never ready for stuff when it comes. You just fucking roll with it. So that's me. Thank you guys for listening to my blah blah. It's a very nice day today.